So today I'm just going to talk a little bit about some wrist mobility. So very often in class we're in fists, so our forearms get very, very tight. So what I'd like to see is to have you have as much range of motion as you possibly can in your wrist. So we have flexion and extension, internal and external rotation. Well, we think we have it until we try this exercise, so I want all of you to try this with us. So Cameron's going to come down on all fours with her fingertips forward to start. And all I want you to do in this position is to bring your shoulders forward of your hands. So keeping your hands glued to the mat. Good. A lot of people can't do that they can't keep that palm of the hand down. Okay, come back. So that's just a little warm up. Now I want you to reverse the fingers and point them towards your knees. Good. And then hinge backward. So you're going to notice to keep the hands down, she's not going to go very far. Very intense stretch. So when we box, we've got our fists like this, and it closes and shortens these muscles. This is a great exercise to do after class to get those wrists open and stretched out. Okay, now the next one, come forward. Let's come forward again with both fingers. Take just the right hand and flip it over, keeping the elbow straight. So most of your students, you'll see this. I want you to make sure they keep that elbow straight, and they're going to really feel that right in that forearm. Good. So she's not buckling and getting a nice stretch here. Now undo that arm, and then the other. So this is when you want to do one arm at a time, and you should feel a nice stretch in the front of that forearm. Yes? Yes. Okay, release that, and go ahead and sit back. So both of those alternating between the two are great ways to get some mobilization in your wrist, mobility in your wrist, and to stretch the muscles in your forearm. The other thing we need to work on is our hands. We don't think about them much, but they're really, really important. So one of the first things we're going to do, we'll start with wrists and move into hands, is we're going to do a kind of a wax on, wax off kind of thing. I want you to lift the wrists up and then press the wrists down. So it's not about me moving my hands, it's about me pressing and pulling with my wrists. Good. So just some mobilization for the wrist after we gave them that stretch. Now I want you to put them on an imaginary table and just shift the wrists from right to left. So not my fingers, but my wrists. My wrists. It's really hard to really isolate that wrist and get it to move. So if I held her fingers, now move your wrists. There you go. And go the other way. Move your wrists. So it's a tough thing to be able to isolate that, but that helps to keep the wrist mobile in both sides. Good. One more. Nice. And so that if you do happen to hit wrong and your wrist gets a little jolt, it won't hurt it as much. One other exercise is for your hands. All you're going to do is have your hands open. You're going to touch your thumb to your pointing finger, middle finger, open and close, ring finger, and then pinky finger. So it's pointing finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky. Point, middle. So just that little, and I know it seems ridiculous, but it helps your hands. The other thing is to try to fold your hands, just the first set of knuckles, then the second set of knuckles, then the third set of knuckles, and then close your thumb. It's really hard to isolate. So then what you want to do is open it the same way. Open the thumb, that set of knuckles, try to keep the top end bent, and then open. So anything that we can do to isolate the joint and move it without the help of the others is going to give us more mobility in our hands. So that's another one to help you practice. And those are our ideas for today.